Ladies and gentlemen, I have a very special chess game for you today in this video that you have clicked on. This is one of the weirdest chess games I've ever seen. And like all good weird things, it originated on Reddit. I was tagged in something, and essentially this is a chess game with many oddities, but one of them in particular is that one of the players played 11 brilliant moves in one game. And I'm going to show you the game in 1 second. Normally I have a sponsor in the beginning of my videos, and I say today's video is sponsored by. Today I actually just have an absolutely massive announcement. This came in the mail today. This is the first ever printed copy of my book. Many of you don't know I have a book. Many of you do know I have a book. I wrote a book. It's called How to Win at Chess, The Ultimate Guide for Beginners and Beyond. And it's supposed to be a very refreshing take on learning chess. You do not need a board to study this book. This book is split into two parts from around 0 to 800, and then in part 2 up to about 1300. The boards have annotations, highlights. You see recent moves made with yellow. And at the end of each chapter, there's QR codes for you to take your learning to the next level. I am extremely proud of this. I'm humbled beyond words. If the book is being translated into multiple languages, including Spanish, Czech, Russian, German, and many others. If you're watching this and you're a foreign rights publisher, please reach out. I want to translate it into Portuguese, French, many others. And to pre-order the book, there's links in the description. What a day. The book is fully launching in October, November, but you can pre-order it now. And yeah, what more can I say? I'm extremely proud of this. I tweeted about it. I showed it live on stream. Let's jump into the games. Game. One of the strangest games I've ever seen. Like I said, white is rated around 800. And black is rated 1,000. They are both given honorary grandmaster titles from me in this game. So white begins this game with pawn to d4, and black plays knight to f6. c4, e6, knight c3. So already something very weird. It's move 3, and the average rating of these players is around 900, and nobody's blundered a queen. Maybe I have like no respect for 900s, but black is playing a Nimso Indian defense, which is ridiculous because I don't know if any 1000 even knows that. And most 700s after d4 are playing the London, for better or for worse. The London is covered in my book, but it doesn't have a massive prominent area, but you know, it is covered there. So we have a Nimso Indian defense, which is an opening where white tries to take a full center with e4, and black pins the knight to the king, disabling that move. Now white has queen c2, e3. Like again, I'm anticipating something. No, white plays e3, which is the main line. White plays e3, which is the main line. Black castles, okay, which is a completely good move, and white plays the move bishop to d3. Just developing the bishop to its natural square, and then the knight can go to f3 or e2. Black can, of course, take the damage to the structure, but generally what black does now is play c5, d5, and the bishop on b4 is ready to capture anytime or go back if necessary. And black plays d5. And this is what I'm telling you, like, I am shocked they both know this opening this well. Maybe this was a study session by two friends and they were just, you know, you're not supposed to look at an opening book as you play online. You're not supposed to look at, you know, my book, although here's my book, by the way. I'm super proud of this. I mean, and I am selling signed copies, but they're limited edition. I'm not going to sign every single book, but I might do a book tour. So if you live in a big place, if you live somewhere with 20 people, I probably won't visit. No disrespect. It's going to be very hard to get to, expensive. If you live in like, I don't know, Houston, Chicago, London, I'll probably stop by on some sort of book tour. I just have to figure it out, and I'll probably sign your book. Unless you're like really a terrible person, then I won't. Anyway, white takes after spending some time, and black takes back, and now white plays knight e2. which is fine. I mean, knight f3 is a little bit more active. The brilliant moves obviously come later. They're not this early in the video. Knight e2. And the idea of the move knight e2 is to obviously take like this. So if something like this happens, this is not what black wants. Black is still equal here, but the entire purpose of playing the Nimso-Indian is to take, you understand? Like, it's to take and damage the structure. That's the whole point. But that doesn't happen because we have this knight e2, and c5, a3, take. Wait, sorry, what? Wait, what? I thought we played knight e2 to... Yeah, but now if you take with the knight, I think rook e8 check was a bit unpleasant, and now you have to block. And if you block the wrong way, maybe knight g4 is coming, and then all of a sudden, you know, your center's under some fire. The position's equal, but that's what I'm assuming that white didn't like. So white takes with the b pawn. But again, I am absolutely stunned that the average elo of these players is like 900. No one's hung any pieces yet. This is ridiculous. I mean, they're supposed to blunder. They're not that good. I mean, no disrespect. They're very good, but they're not that good. Black plays c4. I don't like c4. I think that the pressure here should survive, and I think you should develop and just try to make progress in your position while applying tension. Maybe b6 to guard your pawn here. This move I don't like because now white just gets a very powerful center, a very strong center, and can play moves like f3, e4, opening up the position for the bishops, and it's just going to be like a wave, like an avalanche this way. The only chance black has is something over here. The only chance white has is to play f3, e4, but that's very high-level stuff, okay? And black does play b5, to their credit. Again, rook e8 or bishop g4 were also reasonable. b5 is a very natural move because, like, you can't move any other pawns, so you might as well, you know, play a5, b4. And white here responds naturally with rook b1, attacking the pawn, and black plays rook b8. Nothing surprising there, nothing impressive. The most impressive move, maybe, of the entire game occurs here. White really wants to play e4. White can't play e4 because it's defended. So many, I think, people would play knight g3 here or knight f4 and then play for e4. And in a perfect world, you know, you'll get a position that looks something like this, where the bishops are just very happily frolicking in the field. By frolicking, I mean staring with a bazooka on the other side of the field. They're not really frolicking. But white plays f3, which is the best move. White plays f3 with the intention to play e4. And that's a very different story because trading like this is totally different. You will get a completely winning position with these two bishops. I know the engine is like not that impressed, but the bishops are monsters here. And if you can get this big central blockade of all these pieces, these are soft spots. They are only covered by the king. So there's always massive attacking chances. Like, it's just a matter of time, you know, until white just builds up too powerful of a position and just roars in and demolishes everything. And again, Stockfish is still thinking you can hold it, but I'm not so sure. So rook e8 is what black plays, which stops the move e4. I mean, I would just go knight g3 here and play e4 and try to play e5. Again, this is a perfect position. If white gets this, white is just crushing. Queen here, bishop here, knight here, e5, avalanche. The center is dominant here for white and very well supported, and black doesn't have any more pawns. So what I don't like is white's next move, which is queen d2. Bit of a weird move. Don't quite understand it, but it is what it is. I mean, queen d2 is fine. According to the game analysis, game review, it was an okay move. Now black plays e6, and now once again, I implore you, you've got to go for this. This is everything that you've worked for. If you get this move e4, it's going to be an incredible position. And it's just a matter of time. Queen f4, rook is under fire, knight, pawn, e5, double the rooks. That's a triple F file, 19 points of material barreling down toward your face. What I don't like is what white does here, which is this move a4. This is wrong. This is not playing on the right side of the board. Literally, this is the right side of the board right now, but also it's the correct side of the board to play on. You've got to play for all of this. Black plays bishop d7, which is a bit of a weird move as well. I don't understand this move. There's really nothing going on here. I would maybe go queen e7 and add some pressure. Also continue to prevent e4. Is there anything wrong with the move bishop d7? No, just a little bit passive. It would have been worse to go here because that at least blocks this, and knight f4 is always going to be a target. So also this re-enables the move e4, which is a worse nightmare scenario. So bishop d7. White now plays another really, again, a move that I really cannot bless. This bishop completely takes its eye off of this and wanders out this way. Now, that move could have not happened earlier, so I guess White's entire idea was a4 and then bishop to a3. And this looks nice. This is a very nice looking bishop, but it's not doing a whole lot. Nobody really cared about any of those squares. The queen is completely fine not going here. It will go there or there. Black now takes on a4, which again, not the biggest fan of. And now finally, now after all of these shenanigans, White decides I'm gonna go for an attack. And that move is deemed an inaccuracy because that's not what you were trying to do. You were not trying to play f3 to go g4. That is absolutely wrong. You were trying to play e4. Okay, so that is just a fundamental misunderstanding of the position. White does all of these weird moves, puts the bishop over there. Like, you moved your queen passively, you went here, you didn't play e4 to open up your position, now you're launching an attack. From this point forward, one of the weirdest phenomenons in chess that I've ever seen happens. Black proceeds to play 11 brilliant moves. Now, as you are going to see, this game basically broke Stockfish. Like, it basically broke the engine that does game review. In this position, faced with a coming attack and potentially having to trade down here, Black did not trade rooks immediately because that would have simply given White the file. Instead, Black did something very instructive, which normally happens when rooks see each other. Black moved the rook up so that it was defended by something, like a pawn, so they would dominate the file or get an advantage if that trade occurred. For example, rook b6 is not that good of a move because after take, I could just play rook b1, okay? But a move like rook b5 is interesting because this at least improves my pawns. But there's another move in this position, and it is the first brilliant move of the game by Black. Rook b3! That is a ridiculous move. Now, I'm assuming that based on Black's elo of 1017, Black thought, oh, I attack the bishop, and if they take me, maybe they didn't even see this, by the way, then I'm gonna go here, and my pawns are very strong. Two connected pawns walking hand in hand, and White is gonna have to spend a lot of time and energy blockading them, and if you don't succeed in blockading them, I'm going here, and that's death, because I hit this, you can defend, but in comes my rook. It's very, very, very bad. So rook b3 is a sensational move. White now moves the bishop out of getting captured. And Black gets their second brilliant move of the game. Knight to a5. Re-sacrificing the rook on b3. Just not moving it. Yes, my rook is standing here, and I can't take the bishop anymore, but you can't take me anyway. Because after this, I'm going knight c4. And with my knight and two pawns, I'm going to murder you on the queen side. So that's brilliant move number 2. Suddenly, White's position is in a massive bind. White's entire game plan hinged upon all of this. Not Tinder, not Bumbled. Hinged upon e4 and g5 and all of this stuff. But White's not getting any of that. So now, Black gets brilliant move number 3. Black realizes, I don't have to wait around. Knight b7! 3 brilliant moves because this dumb rook is still standing here. 3 brilliant moves, and I'm going to take the bishop, the only active piece in the position. White plays knight f4. Could White continue to try to dance around? Yeah, but then a5. a5 might happen. So knight to f4 is played, and Black plays h6 to stop g5. You see, knight f4 was preventing this, so Black plays h6. h4, and now brilliant move number 4, bishop c6. By the way, I don't know why h6 was not given a brilliant move. Can we just address that? The computer is bugging out. It's thinking this is brilliant, this is brilliant, this is brilliant. h6 is for some reason not brilliant, it's only good. Bishop c6 is brilliant again. That's now 4 brilliant moves. The king goes up to g2 because, again, maybe white was a little bit concerned about something here. So white plays king g2, trying to play rook h1 and g5 and open up on the h-file. And now we have brilliant move number 5, knight to d7! The rook is just hanging. It just can't be taken. It's just a reality of existence now that rook is not going to be taken. 5 brilliant moves. The knight is going to get... Both of these knights are swarming this bishop, and there's nothing white can do. That's covered. I mean, if the bishop goes to a7, you just play queen a8, okay? Or queen h4, by the way. So white just decides, I need to commit my attack. This ain't it, though. I mean, h5 is not it. You had to go rook h1. h5 is just going to severely slow you down. Now we have knight takes c5. Not a brilliant move, by the way. Knight takes c5, not a brilliant move. A couple of moves ago, h6, not a brilliant move. But the next move, knight takes c5, double exclam! What is going on? What is happening? The rook has been hanging the whole game. Like I said, it's just a fact of life. Nobody can touch the rook. Because if you touch it, again, cb3, not ab3. Not ab3. You only have one pass pawn if you do it this way. This is much better. And not knight takes b3, because yes, you attack this, but then this is doubled and isolated. That's not very good. So, white plays rook to b1, desperately pleading with black to do something about the rook. And black says, all right, fine. I'm now going to relinquish my defense of this rook, and I'm going to play a3, another brilliant move! You see, black's entire game plan of knight b7, knight d7, winning the bishop on c5 and the pawn, to play a3. The rook is losing a defender, but it gained another. You still cannot take this stupid rook. These pawns are too strong. You try to go queen c1, I've got queen a5 on the way. I've got a2 on the way. I have knight not knight d3, but knight a4 potentially on the way. This is ridiculous. a3, another brilliant move. White plays rook a1. And now black, my friends, you do not need to be Sherlock Holmes to identify what is about to happen. Queen e7, another brilliant move. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. We have a battery facing the pawn on e3. Let it be known, how many moves ago did I mention that pawn on e3 when white played f3? White needed to play e4. White had to expand in the center of the board. White didn't. Played a wrong game plan, and black just danced around with the rook on b3. Two stubborn bodies. White not taking, black keeping the rook on b3. White in this position can play rook here. White decides to play rook f2. Not a great move. Now queen takes e3. Yet another brilliant move. Another one. So brilliant. Now, recapturing the queen, unfortunately, not given a brilliant move. That, unfortunately, was straightforward. And now, my friends, in this position, perhaps the most dazzling, destructive, dominant, scintillating, captivating, exhilarating, brilliant move thus far of this entire game. Can you tell that I may or may not be sarcastic at this moment? In this position, black played the absolutely incredible bishop to b7, retreating one square! And this move received yet another blessing of being a brilliant move. White, in this position, plays king to g3, walking into this. Desperate times call for desperate measures, and now the move heard around the world, the 11th brilliant move of this entire game, with this rook hanging on this position. For like the last few moves, rook b2 was possible. There was absolutely no reason to keep the rook there. d4, with the intention of opening up a pressure over here. If takes, the rook now joins the party. Rook takes f3, rook takes f3, rook takes f3. And in this position, white can move the king out the h-file or into the line of sight of the bishop. But instead of doing any of that, white just resigned. Because if you move the bishop into the line of sight, I'll go knight b3. You can't really take because of the discovered check. If you don't decide to lose the game like that, and instead you go to h4, I will go to e6, I will go to g5, and I will mate you. Now, the game is certainly not over. I think resigning here is certainly premature, and we don't want to be premature. But as far as the attack that black provided in this game, for the last 15 or so moves, in this position, the idea to play rook to b3, I told you, in case it wasn't clear, white resigned. I said that. Not here. Later. The reason why this game was so weird to me is because it was such a good game, but I cannot tell if it was played by accident. Like, these players are 800 and 1,000. I'm not convinced they knew what they were doing. Maybe they did know what they were doing. I have no idea. All I know is that Rook survived a literal apocalypse, a robot attack on humanity. Knight c5, a3, every single one. This is not a joke. This is not a drill. Every single one of those moves was granted brilliancy according to chess.com. The game ended with 11 brilliant moves. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. Oh my goodness. What a game. A great game. Hopefully an instructive game. One of the weirdest games I have ever featured on this channel. And that's all I have for you today. A friendly reminder, before we sign off. I know this is the part where you click on videos in your sidebar. It shows on my retention chart. But this thing is out. And this thing is super cool. And I'm so excited to share it with you. So, How to Win at Chess by yours truly. Get a book. Go to somewhere on the... I dropped my phone because I was so excited. Go to somewhere on the book tour. I will sign it. Or wait for a signed copy. Until next time. Get out of here.